Grado is the Daft of the Football Daft podcast.
Is that a good story? Is that a good story?
I've got an encyclopedia brain.
He's got a day man nutting. Fuck's sake. Why are you a fucking hoot?
This is Football Daft.
You're a Rangers man. I'm a Hearts man.
With Ewan Cameron.
I work for Showtime and ESPN.
And...
For the top end of Stevenson, Grado!
Ewan Cameron is unavailable for selection, so they brought in a guest host. I know who it is. Do you know who it is?
I'll tell you who it is. It's the sun-tanned Superman, none other than the best Scottish presenter on Fitba, the full lot. It's yourself, David Tanner. And I must admit, I'm buzzing to have you sitting next to me. And you're sitting next to me this time. Usually we're kind of, me and you and sit across for one another, but this is good. This is quite intimate, sitting next to you, Davey. I can touch you. I can feel that lovely. I mean, I must always admit as well, Davey, you're always looking immaculate.
Thank you very much, Pet. But anyway, listen, thank you for having me in. Thanks to everyone as well who gave me such a great response when I came in a couple of months ago to do Where Are You? In fact, somebody messaged me today on my Facebook page saying that they'd listened to it and enjoyed it.
Aye, no,
now,
you're
see,
good.
when you do what I've done over the last 25 years, you're not used to people saying, oh, that was really good. They're usually abusing you for some reason.
Did you get abuse?
Well, I was never on social media until the last couple of years. So but I was aware of it. So what happens is you go on and you say, good evening, welcome to a football programme. It involves, for example, Arbroath. And people are writing and complain, say, I am from Forfar. He smiled when he said Arbroath. He's an Arbroath fan. You know, and it probably happens a bit more with two Glasgow clubs I could mention.
I wonder where they would be. Would that be Partick and
Clyde? I know, the Queen's Park fans. They're the worst of the lot. So it was really, really nice. So everyone was on Twitter saying to me, this is great.
But hold on to cut you off, David.
Thank you for that.
David, did you have social media before you left Sky?
No.
So did
I had
you
Instagram actually.
But did you leave Sky and go, right, I need to get in about this social media shit?
I wanted to go on Twitter before actually, and they said, oh, don't do that. Because it's, you know, there's more to be lost and to be gained, which I regret now actually. Because it's actually really nice. Most of the people are actually very, very nice.
There is that small percentage of people that just moan about everything. You know,
Do you know the ones I don't like? The ones I don't like who retweet what you've said and then kind of put a spin on it and misquote you to make you seem like you're a horrible person for saying this, you know, and I go after them, I must admit, because it's just nasty and it's naughty. Do you know what I mean by that?
I get it, but
if you say good morning Scotland, and then they'll kind of retweet it and put a comment saying, this is typical.
He's at it. He's at it.
Sarcastic.
I know what he really means. But what I find, what I do, David, now is the best button that you can press. If somebody's getting you shite, you press mute.
Yeah,
because you don't get the satisfaction
blocking.
of them blocking. If they're blocked, they get a hard on because you blocked them. And they'll screen grab it and they'll send it folk WhatsApp going, fuck it up, you blocked off the big man tidy. You mute them and you never hear about them again.
I have been doing broadcasting for over 30 years now. Started at Radio Clyde. And in all those years, nobody beside me has said hard on. This is the first.
Did you?
Maybe a semi. That's been mentioned a few times before.
Talking about you're talking about donut lockdown there. Talking about your Radio Clyde. Is it true that you just built them up and went, I want a job when you were 16-year-old?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I was still at school, and they said no.
Right.
And then about 2 or 3 months later, I was bunking off school. That was a study time. And I was listening to the Dougie Donnelly mid-morning show. And Dougie Donnelly, do you know what Dougie Donnelly's audience
Super Noodle Heat.
was? He's the governor, though.
Do you look up to him so much?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Jim White, Dougie Donnelly, absolute governors.
Jim White, I know. How do you feel about Jim White? I feel as if these days he again is becoming one of these people. Now I know he might be your mate, but I feel as if he's coming across as one of these type of Katie Hopkins type characters, one of these Sutton. You know the way they try to sense.
No.
Do you not think so?
No.
He's
a great journalist. He's a great working journalist and get his foot in any door. What he does is he asks the questions that matter. And I've been Talk Sport. He puts a lovely spin on it. I think he's fantastic.
I don't
I don't
know.
think there's enough Whitey on the air at the moment with 3 hours on Talk Sport and then 3 hours at Sky tonight. We could do with some more.
You know what? The only Jim White story I have is that I claimed Ben Nevis with his ex-wife, right? Now, what the deal was, we were filming something called Scotland in a Day, and it was meant to portray September the 14th, 2014, the day that when Scotland were going to vote yes or no. And my character played a guy that decided, right, I'm that Scottish, I'm going to claim Ben Nevis, right? Now, when I agreed to do it with the director, they said, oh, don't worry about it, you don't actually need to claim Ben Nevis. You know, we're just going to get you a couple of shots, we'll get you the boat with the mountain, all the rest of it.
Already, I fear you were being lied to.
I was I lied to, mate? I turned up that day dressed like this with my trainers on. Turned up. Jim White's missus or ex-missus was the director. She's all wearing the boots, wearing all the carry on. She's got packed lunches, she's got torches, she's got the full rig out.
Kendall mint cake.
Aye, all this carry on. I'm going, what's the deal here? She says, oh no, we're going to the tap. I says, oh, where fuck? She says, no, we're going to the tap. I goes, well, what? I've got my trainers on. So she take me to the nearest place where you can get all that tent shite, and they bought me 90 bar boots. That that probably came out my wage. And I actually had to climb Ben Nevis. I left at 11 o'clock in the morning, climbed up to the very top, burst, climbed down. By the time I got back down to the grun, it was 11 at night, and I was in tears. It was that sad. And do you know what the worst it was? I had a day shift in the fire brigade the next morning, and I couldn't make it.
I'm worried about the chafing.
Oh, there's plenty of chafing going about doing about with me. That's why I carry plenty of coconut oil, David. I'm a coconut oil guy.
Can I go now?
That's what I have here. I always get my coconut oil in my satchel ready to go. Is there anything that you carry with you? Have you always got essentials? Is it because I say, David, you always look immaculate, big man. There's never a hair out of place. You look as if you've just walked right out of Next. You're looking great.
No, not really. I always like to carry lip salve, and I've not got any today. Right. And I've got the cold, as I mentioned, which I managed to pick up in Dubai.
How was the
Might have been on the
flights?
flight and the home. Flight's good, yeah. I enjoyed it. 6 hours sitting on a seat, can't beat it.
With the missus?
No, they flew back the day before.
So
travelling on your own is the best way. You don't have to talk to anyone.
So name mile high. Where?
Actually, I actually did join the Mile High Club.
Who way?
Oh no, I was on my own. Does that count?
So there we go. We've got the first headline. David Tanner rips the nut off it on long haul flights. That's an exclusive to Football Daft. That'll be in the paper tomorrow, again.
If only I had the energy for that.
Grado's rant.
Time for a rant. Yeah, boy.
Rant this week about the Three Network. I went down last week at the worst possible time. I was having a meeting in Paisley. The Three Network goes down, right? So then I can't tell people that I'm going to be late for my meeting because I didn't know where I was going because the maps were down, so the data was down. Eventually got to my meeting, done my meeting, left the meeting, right? Somebody's peeping me, beep, 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 beep. I go, fuck, what is this? What's you, man? You've got a flat tyre. Fair enough. So I pulled in. Big guy was brand new. I did have a flat tyre. Now, I'm hopeless at changing tyres and stuff like this. Big guy, Wally, shout out to Big Wally for Renfrew. He get right in his phone. He obviously didn't have Free Network. He goes, big man, he phoned somebody, says, big man, have you got a JT30546 for a Jaguar tyre? Aye, no bother. So I followed him slowly round to this garage. I got myself a tyre fitted, although I had to wait a couple of hours till the tyre get sent in. So the big man gave me a run fae the tyre place into Paisley Gilmer Street because I was going to go home to kill a couple of hours. Got the lift back into Paisley. Then I realised my fucking Huskies were on the Corkies. So then I had to find
Is that the Three Network's fault?
Free Network's fault because then I couldn't find my way back to the garage. Eventually I found my way back to the garage, walked half a mile. He says, right, it's still going to be a couple of hours for the tyre. I says, right, I'll find myself a vaping shop. So I walked myself back into Piazza Centre. The Piazza Centre vape shop was shut down.
Is that Three's Network's fault?
this is Free Network's fault. I then said to the Piazza Centre, said the shop has moved to this postcode. I got a wee bit of Wi-Fi in a Piazza Centre. So I said, right, it's a 1.5 miles down the road. So I started following this map. Mate, I ended up wanting 1.5 miles. And I got to a block of flats where apparently this new vape shop was. Somebody stopped me and says, mate, what you doing here? He says, you're in the ghetto. I says, I'm looking for the vape shop. He says, no. It's a mile back down that way. So then I walked another mile back down into Paisley Centre to find this vape shop. It turns out that the vape shop had moved, but it moved from about here to about the end of this road. So I walked a mile that way in the wrong direction to a block of flats, came back down, realised that the vape shop was just round about the corner, basically I walked about 4 miles on the wrong way because I'm fucking free because you can't get the finger out their arse. How can a network in this day and age go down, Tanner? How can this happen? I don't get it.
Don't ask me, I can hardly switch my phone on. But how good did your arse look after a 4-mile walk?
Well, I must have dropped a couple of pun, but I must admit I walked into a newsagent's and found that they were selling Willy Wonka chocolate. Willy Wonka. So I bought myself a Willy Wonka chocolate, and also the shop was selling orange twirls. I didn't know they existed. Oh, wow. So I got myself an orange twirl, and I got myself a Willy Wonka chocolate, and I got myself to the vape shop. And because I'm new into the vaping, as you see, I can't put this vape down. I've got 2 vapes now. They're calling me Jake the Vape. But just let you know, that caused a lot of bother that day, Free Network. I went and bust because also I missed a payment on my credit card because I couldn't sign in because there was no data. So now I've got a black mark against my name for not paying my credit card off because of you, Free Network. I'm going to struggle to get a mortgage. Fuck the lot of yous.
And with that, it's back to you in the studio. So we must talk on Football Daft about the weekend's games. What about Celtic? Celtic 6, Ross County 0. Wow.
You know, Celtic had 21 attempts in goal in the first half and only scored 1 goal. They're not that good.
Slightly biased. Hamilton Accies 1, Hibs 1. What can you say about Hamilton unable to beat Hibernian?
It's a tragedy for Hamilton. Who scored first in that game?
Ross Cunningham equalised for Hamilton. So Hibs scored first.
That's an alright result for Hamilton. I see them going down this year, unfortunately. So a one each draw with Hibs. If I'm a Hamilton fan, I'm happy. You know what I mean? Well done to Cunningham for salvaging a point.
Now, Kilmarnock moved to within 2 points of third place by beating Livingston 2-1. I mean, tell you what, everyone thought Kelly, disaster area this season. Wow, he's turned it around.
It just shows you, give the guy a bit of time. Gary Dicker and Rory McKenzie scoring for Kelly. So it's looking up. I don't see them challenging as much as what they did last year, but it's a good result at home.
Now, our guest this week, Willo Flood, played for Aberdeen, 3-0 at Motherwell. Listen, great result, Aberdeen's first win in 3 and all the rest of it. But what about the goals in that game?
I didn't see them.
Chip.
I was in Germany. I missed the goals.
Cosgrove picks up the ball, edge of the box, a wee chip, and boom, over Mark Gillespie. It was sensational.
Do you think Cosgrove is going to stay at Aberdeen for long?
I think that Crystal Palace will bid 20 million for him in January. Am I getting mixed up?
Fingers crossed that's the plan.
Now, Hearts 1, Glasgow Rangers 1. Can I put it to you that Rangers pooped the bed and the title challenge is over?
Are you officially now saying that Rangers' title challenge is over?
No, I just asked the question. I never say anything. I only
That's what you're
ask
hinting at.
questions.
But these are the games, David, that we need to win. I'm just gutted because the last time this happened, you know, we felt good when we beat Celtic at the New Year and we stopped for the winter break and we came back and there was that dreadful game at Rugby Park.
Was it that?
Shot to bed. Rangers didn't deserve... I don't even know if they deserved the point. Well, it was just a shite game. Both teams cancelled each other out, in my opinion. Very frustrating as a Rangers fan. But as I say, the guy that you're hitting at the last year, Morelos, if it wasn't for him, man, if he didn't equalise at that point in that game, it could have been a totally different story. So thank fuck for Morelos.
Beautifully put. Finally, St Mirren got their first goals in 4 games, beating St Johnstone, still without a win this season. St Mirren to St Johnstone. Now, your take on events in Paisley?
Fuck Paisley.
Oh, come on, get over it. Your phone network went down in Paisley in the ghetto. I love the fact that guy said to you, "What are you doing here? You're at risk." A big hairy wrestler, honestly. And he's from Ayrshire.
I'm not
right.
hairy. I'm not hairy.
Oh.
Avit.
Too much info. Now, thanks for your tweets. Jamie Patterson says, Rangers were poor in the Ewan Cameron derby. Ewan's not here, and he's still getting it tight.
Yes.
Jimbo, what went wrong with Rangers at Tynecastle? Well, it's the same as every team. They raise their game when they play us. We'll be back at the same all this weekend. Gary Chapman, a draw at Tynecastle never used to be viewed as 2 points drop, but it was on Sunday. His Hearts have been dreadful this season. Still think Rangers lack the genuine belief they can win the league this season. Something in that. Thanks, Gary. James Gillespie, good bounce back from Celtic after the Livy game. And I know it's just one game, but Frimpong looks like he could be an absolute star.
That was a good player.
Yeah,
That's a good player.
Decent. Jake Sturgis, Tommy Wright needs to go. Every interview now, he sounds like a defeated man and has, in Jake's view, run out of ideas. I'm not having that. He's done so much for St Johnstone.
He's done well, but he misses Fozzie.
Next one, your old dad Colin. Dundee and McPake are tactically inept. Tell me this, your old dad Colin. Where did you do your coaching badges? Anyway, he has 3 strikers, but consistently plays one up and plays the other 2, Johnson and Nelson, in the reserves. And? Anyway, so substitutions have been questioned. 1 up with 5 to go against Partick. Midfielder off, wing it on, and we finished the game 3-1 down. Maybe it's because they're better. Anyway, so I was just answering that one myself. I got annoyed when we start. Stu.
It's good to see you like this, Tanner.
Oh, I know.
I like it. We don't get to see this side of you when you're on the telly. It's good to see you free reign. It's good to see you getting stuff off your chest. Get fired in.
It's
Get going in,
almost like
son.
someone is
Keep
leading
going.
me astray. I can't think
keep
who.
going, man. It's
Finally, Stu Bro. Tough game for the Bairns this week. Why is there Falkirk ones in? I mean, they're in what league are they in? Are they in like Division 3 now?
You know why a Falkirk one is? Because producer
Oh,
John here
that's right.
is a Falkirk fan, so he's got. So he gives me shit for always talking about Rangers, but he's always getting Falkirk stuff in. Correct. We've got
Thanks for your tweets. Remember to tweet us. And remember, if you want to tweet me,
Aye.
Can you remember my Twitter handle?
Yes, it's at David Tanner TV, and if he's mentioned once, he's mentioned 100 times that he needs more followers. So someday, gonna do me a favour, people that follow me on Twitter, gonna follow David Tanner, because he's just gonna give me it tight for not getting as many followers. This'll boost your credibility, mate. See this, you're acting like a villain, I love it. See the way you're ripping papers up and all that, this'll be good for your character, mate.
Yeah.
It's what you call in wrestling a heel turn. It is a heel turn. It's perfect. It's refreshing. David, you're reinventing yourself, you motherfucker.
Next week, I'll be ripping up phone books on the Football Daft podcast. Who are you indeed? And I'm delighted to say, for this segment, I'm joined by my old friend Nicholas McDonald.
Yes.
Nicholas, of course, a runner-up in X-Factor. Is it really 6 years?
Yeah, it is. Do you know what? It only felt like a few weeks ago I'd done it. Well, not a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, you know what I mean? Same thing. But, yeah, six years ago. It's mad to think. I still look the same. The only difference, I put on about 6 stone. That's the only difference. Discovered beer in Chinese, but that's great.
Oh, tremendous. How old were you?
When I done the show, I was... Actually, I was 16 on the show, but when I was actually
But in real
on
life,
the-
you must have been about 35, surely. Everyone
Aye.
lies about their age in your game.
Aye, no. I'm the real deal. And then I actually turned 17 on the show, actually during one of the live shows. So 17 when I done it, aye, and turning 23 next month. So I'm getting old. Do you know what I mean? Nearly that 30. When you get to 30, it's like the peak, and then it just goes boom. That's it, downhill for there. But and married life as well. So
I will let you know when it happens to me. So. Now listen, congratulations are in order.
yes, for the big wedding. Been married a month now, so doesn't feel any different.
Is it working?
For now, for now it's lasting. 3 weeks, aye, so it's lasting.
She's a keeper.
Now. Aye, definitely. Well, she's from Florida, so she's different from the people of Glasgow, you know.
Yeah, just a wee bit. Now you're the best thing to come out of Wishaw since.
John Higgins.
Oh, good
There we go.
answer. Good answer. What is it like for a boy from Wishaw to marry a Floridian? I mean, do you require a translator?
Well, originally we did. We definitely did. It was she just basically, when I spoke to her, she just kind of looked at her like I spat in her face. She was just like shocked and she's confused, and she just used to nod and say, like, I could say something like, I'm going to shoot you with a gun, and she'd just look dead taffy and smile and nod.
I think that's a Blantyre thing.
No. I was thinking
Rather
more
than
Hamilton,
wishy.
but anyway.
Sorry, Hamilton.
Aye, sorry. But she originally she couldn't understand the word. Now I've got her saying Scottish words, so it's great.
Have you ever been felt up by a big, sweaty wrestler from Stevenson?
No, I've never.
Right. Good.
But I'm ready for it.
Right, are you ready? Should we bring him in?
I wasn't like jumping out of my bed excited this morning, but since it's a man and it's his cell, then we'll see what happens. I don't know.
Oh, let's get Grado in then, John. So, as if by magic, Grado is here, and he's sitting next to our mystery guest on Who Are You? Grado, you need to ask some questions of our guest to try and work out who she is, and you're also allowed to touch him
Right.
to try and work it out. So over to you then.
Right. I'll have a feel. What is that?
No.
It's not a woman. You got a big Jaco on. You got a big Jaco on with a big collar there. What the fuck? So I've just been that bit. What is that? Was that what? Is that aftershave or is it somebody squirting in my face?
It was drool. It's Roy Hattersley.
I don't know who Roy Hattersley is, but somebody's flicking some water in my
Google
face. Right, so he's a prick for a start. Although, hold on to see. I don't know if I should be calling this guy a prick. Through the horns.
Now there's a wee clue there, and
What?
on one of the fingers there's a wee clue.
Married.
Yes. Yes.
Who do I know that's married?
That doesn't narrow it down necessarily.
Right,
But
who
quite,
do I know
quite
that's married?
recently.
Right. Married quite recently. Right, you got a bonnet on.
What do you think of the beard?
You got a beard today. I just liked my finger. I would have not liked that finger, mate. You're going to end up with worms tomorrow. No, I'm kidding on.
We'll get you a tetanus.
Right, hold on. Are you a football player?
No.
Is it a football player?
No.
It's definitely not a football player.
He's telling you the truth.
Right. What are you Scottish?
Aye.
What kind of accent's that? Is that a Glasgow accent?
Close.
He's from near Glasgow.
Right, you're from near Glasgow, right? You're in the line of work, so you don't play football.
It's not Ayrshire.
It's no Ayrshire.
It's not Dunbartonshire.
You wear jackets. Are you a celebrity?
No.
He certainly is. He certainly
so he is a
is.
celebrity, right?
He's been seen by literally tens of millions on TV.
tens of millions. So what, are you on American telly?
No.
Are you on a soap?
No.
Are you in the theatre?
No. I'm
We're
not
talking national
I'm not
television.
theatre, no.
National television.
Right, none of your Scottish nonsense.
Right, so you're on the telly down south and all?
Yep.
Right. Are you an actor?
No.
Are you a comic?
No.
Are you...
What are the highest rated shows on TV?
You in X-Factor? You in Fame Academy?
X-Factor.
You were on the X-Factor? Were you on the X-Factor? Right. Fuck, you're not a McDonald brother, are you?
No.
By the way, shout out to McDonald Brothers. I was on the same flight as McDonald Brothers a couple of weeks ago. Shout out to them.
That is like an Ayrshire celebrity binge fest.
I
But
know.
this fella here is from Wishy.
Hold on!
Because
Did you win the X-Factor in 2007?
No. It's no Leon Jackson either.
That's what I was going to say. It's Leon Jackson. It's no Nicholas, is it? Nicky fucking... You're too big to be him. You're too big to be Nicky McDonald, aren't you?
It's yourself.
Well done.
I go with that!
Took on 25 minutes.
God, that was a good one, wasn't it?
That was
a
good.
good one. I managed to get it in. I was on a flight with the McDonald Brothers. Do you ken them?
No.
Do you know who they
Nothing related to me, no.
But listen, hold on a minute. I want to sing with you, man.
Moan then. What's your song walking into the ring?
Right, like a prayer, but that's not good.
No.
Right, but hold on. The song that I always sing when I'm in karaoke, so all my pals always love me when I sing it. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Ain't no darkness everywhere. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. And she's always gone too long. Anytime she goes away.
And it's a bit, I know.
That
goes on forever. We'll be here the next week.
Wait, what is your favourite song to sing?
I don't know.
There can be miracles when you believe.
No,
that actually.
no.
See, did I tell that story, John, on the podcast before when I went for an audition a couple of months ago? If I never told you this.
For what?
I went for an audition for this.
It's my first week.
I know. It was for the National Theatre fucking thing in London. All my actor pals were like, "Hey man, this is heavy duty. This audition. It's like no messing about there."
Did you ever hear Sir Larry Olivier saying the National fucking theatre thing?
No, never.
See, that's the way.
Sir Alec Guinness.
That's the way I'm on. I just can't with myself, right? And so I had to go in and read a couple of scripts, and it was all like, "Oh, Ken, all this kind of, all that."
Dramatic.
Oh, the boat is sinking. Please save me, right? But I had to read the script. Then they went and said,
Titanic.
"Look." Then they said, "Can you sing a song for us? We need to. Can you need to deliver a piece?" I went, right, okay. Give me 2 minutes, and I went, fuck it. I'll sing Leon Jackson's The Winner Song. So I'm like, stunning with my phone, right? Stunning with my
Pulls
phone.
up the karaoke version on YouTube.
I did. I went
For
like
this
that.
edition.
I stood in front of all these, like, hoity-toity. Hello, Graham. Just stand over there and just, have a bash. Don't be scared, Graham. You
Relax,
have this.
Graham, relax.
Relax, Graham. And I went like, there can be miracles when you believe.
They have a big red buzz in front of them. They can go.
Well, I didn't get to that point. It was basically. Right, Graham, that's enough.
Thank you for coming.
We'll
We'll
be in
let you know if you get
touch.
the part.
Never
Aye.
fucking heard nothing.
Nah, I wouldn't phone you back either.
No, I bet you wouldn't. How you get any singles coming out?
Nah, no, this year, next year.
Right,
so
cool. Big album.
doing that. Aye, big album, big number one.
So listen,
Joke.
big mystery. What team do you support?
Well, that's a funny one because when I was younger, I actually had a season ticket for both Celtic and Rangers.
Oh my god.
Do you see? I really like that. I know
Honestly,
I'm a bit of a
do
weirdo.
you?
Yeah, I like the guys who played for Celtic and Rangers, but a guy who's had a season book for
But
both.
then the
Like
thing
it.
is, see, a lot of people ask me because when I was on the show, there was a picture of me wearing a Rangers top that get put in the newspaper, and then me and Lisa Commons were the first to sit in every seat at Parkhead for Marie Curie, and we raised £30,000 for that. So
How long did that take?
4 days,
Oh,
brutal.
What do you mean? What did you have to do?
Squat in every single seat, like put it down and squat in it, put it down and squat in it.
Wait, you went through every
Every single
seat
seat.
in Parkhead?
Aye,
And how much did you raise?
£30,000.
Right,
you must have had.
Me and
buns
you
of
should do the
steel
one at
after that.
Ibrox. See, that's never been done before.
50,000 squats.
By the way, it isn't as hard as it seems.
Is it really? Were you cheating?
No, because we had somebody there for the health and safety at Parkhead
Right.
and somebody from Marie Curie making sure we sat in every seat.
Grado's
Torture.
always got somebody from health and safety circling him just in case. He's a walking breach. A
Walking disaster.
breach. And did you play football when you were younger?
I did. I loved playing it, and then actually when I took my cardiac arrest playing 10,
Hold on, what?
I
Or was this part of your hang with? Was this
not wasn't my sob
Was it
story.
ya?
No,
When I
because
was
it was
10 years old.
no, there was no sob story on the X-Factor.
Seriously, you never had one?
Nah.
Nobody did or anything like that, no?
No, did aunties, no, that's
No.
why I'm here today, no. So what happened on the show,
Well done, mate. That's
they
why
found
you
out about
get
it, and I
that.
wanted to get through my own merit, my own pride,
Aye.
and no folk going, oh, I had to be auntie died last year, and he's the biggest fan about to phone out and vote for him. No, I wanted
that
to get
does
through
my
and
head in.
actually say, do you know what, he's a decent singer. Do you know what I mean? And that was and then when I come off the show, that's when it came out saying that I've got this life illness and all
What
that.
did happen? How did you go?
So I was playing football with my Wishy Wick on my football team,
Right.
playing up in East Kilbride, and I went to kick off a game and I fell. And I fell to the ground. My mum and dad thought that somebody shot me at the trees because I just went down like a sack of tatties.
Really?
Can come up and they try to bring me back to life. And they,
You're joking,
long
what age were
story
you?
short, 10, cardiac arrest.
As
Aye.
you died.
Died. I was
Did
out.
you die in a
cold.
pitch?
Aye. Don't
Can
know
you
how I
remember
did-
what happened? Can you
Nah.
remember?
Don't remember a hang. Never seen the Golden Gates.
But do you know what? I cannot believe that was never.
But then I get diagnosed with a heart condition called long QT syndrome, which was in my genes, but I never knew that until I taken the cardiac arrest. And I take a tablet because basically my heart beats too fast.
Propanol.
No, it's irregular. And what's that word?
Irregular heartbeat.
That's it.
Right.
But it like mine goes really fast. So my tablet.
Especially when you're sitting next to the Grado.
Aye. So because it's nice and hot in here, I'm getting all steamy.
Buttocks.
Aye. Everyone I get tell you were filling me up. I had to take double the tablets this morning.
When you're 16 though,
Yeah.
appearing on a stage,
Yeah.
live on ITV, that X-Factor's audience, what, 10 million?
Aye. It was
15
more than that.
million?
Aye. It's close to that.
Aye, come down.
With a live audience, Simon Cowell sitting there with a machine gun.
Aye.
And who was on the panel then?
Louis, Gary Barlow, Sharon Osborne, and Nicole Scherzinger. Oof, let's see her.
you're
What a back
talking-
hit, man!
what a back hit.
What a back hit! Oof.
Nicole
By the way,
Schwarzenegger
she's
is
nice.
back on
She's
now.
nicer in real life than she is in the telly.
And how did you? Was it your group that did you go with her? Was that her?
No, Louis Walsh is my mentor.
Dude, this is where I always felt sorry for cunts that were on the X Factor, right? You know, what happened is, you know, right, if you go with Simon, you go to his house in LA, you go
Louis
to
Walsh sends you to Dublin.
Dublin, know what I mean? I always used to
I'm-
think you'd be devastated.
I nearly shot myself in the face. Got to Gatwick Airport and it's a big reveal, the golden envelope, and
Where
all
you
these
gone?
folk are gone to Los Angeles and gone here and gone there. I packed the way I packed today, jacket, jumpers, freezing outside, hat on. I get to Gatwick Airport, I'm like, oh, here we go, open up this big gold envelope, open up the envelope. Here, we went to Saint-Tropez in France.
Ah, now you're talking, aye. Thanks, pretty for me.
Eight snails and everything, class, brilliant, aye. But it wasn't his house, he rented it out, don't be kidding.
Do you still keep in contact with all these?
Aye, people for the show, aye, but none of the judges, no.
Tell me this, who's the
Weirdos.
most famous person, the judges line up something else, but who's the most famous person you've met since you became a superstar?
Apart from Grado,
Apart from Grado.
back in 2013.
That's when it was, mate.
I don't know, probably I'd say I've met probably 4 really famous. Would be Celine Dion,
Woof.
Michael Bublé,
Woof.
Ed Sheeran and Elton John.
Who was the biggest wido? Who was the biggest arsehole?
Arsehole, Gary Barlow.
Really?
He was a judge on it and he was an arse.
He's got the same birthday as me.
Really?
Unlucky.
Is it?
See the amount of people I meet, like women
stat.
going, oh, I remember you were on the show. Gary Barlow's on it. I love him. Love take that. And I go, Robbie Williams is one of the nicest guys I've ever met.
Really?
But Gary Barlow was,
Tell me about
was
what
so
happened.
ignorant.
Really?
He was just an arse.
Follow yourself.
But see, when you were on stage with all that pressure, did they have to monitor your heart? Did
Aye,
the
what
medics
actually
on-
happened is when I got to the judges' houses, I thought to myself, right, there's like 95 people auditioned here, 95,000. It got down to 6 boys and only 3 can go through the live shows. I was at the judges' houses saying to myself, if I don't get through here, I'm never doing it again. So I ended up getting through, but this is a story I've never ever told. An exclusive for you too, for the podcast.
We've got it,
So
Tanner.
what happened was the producer, you know what it's like TV, the producers have a big say in what kind of happens, especially a TV show like the X Factor. And the producers didn't want to put me through because of the health risk in my heart. Because like anger, hurt, anxiety, sudden alarm, all this can set off my heart. Basically, if I fart too loud, my heart can probably stop. It's never happened, but we'll try and see. We'll see what happens. But anyway, so the producers actually says to Louis, you cannot put Nicholas through just for the health and safety reasons.
Casey farts, Casey lets ass.
Aye, basically. And then Louis turned around and says, Louis went against his will and against him and says, I'm really sorry, but I can't send him home.
That's
And
brilliant.
Louis put me through. They sent me to a cardiologist 2 days later and back in London, a specialist and all that. They checked my heart saying, he has got it. Nothing's happened since the cardiac arrest. And just keep an eye on him and he's fine. And they gave him the go-ahead and I get through to the live shows. But I was already through, but they sent me to the cardiologist to make sure I was fine, and the producers were like to Louis, can't I put him through? And Louis like, I need to do it. Brilliant. So he believed in me, which is great.
That's good,
Because if
aye.
it was any other judge, they'd just been like, right, okay, we'll
Got
pick
you to
somebody
fuck.
else.
Who did you not get to the live final?
Aye, the final, aye, in Wembley.
Runner up.
Aye,
So you were the runner-up, aye. So how did that feel when you came second? Was you gutted or was you just glad to be there? Basically,
No,
you're in the final.
I was saying earlier on, like when I went on that show, I signed up for it. I never ever thought I'd even get an email back saying going for audition. Do you know what I mean? I was 17, so when I done it, I never had any expectations, never had any goals. And when I got to the final, I was like, don't know what. When I even got to the live shows, first week live shows, I was like, this is way beyond what I expected. Just enjoy the rest of it. And it never even turned into a competition. It just felt like enjoyment. I was out of school. I was living in a big house in London. I was on the X Factor and I was 17. It was great. Life
Living
couldn't have
the
get any
dream.
better. Aye.
Nicholas, it's been great to see you. Thank you very much for being felt up.
Oh, I enjoyed it. It was great.
Thanks.
Some folk would pay for that, David.
It's a niche market, but listen, I'm in. One last question before you go. Who's going to win the Scottish Premiership this season? There's a wee hand grenade from there, Grado.
Yeah.
Well, he's either going to say Rangers. I don't know what I'm going to say here. Just fucking answer the question, actually.
And you can't say Wish or Wickham.
Oh, can I say Wishy? I'll play it safe. And I'll
Say Rangers or Celtic.
and I'll just say Motherwell, just purely because I love
Well,
that.
Motherwell, David, we've
They're
spoken
doing
about
all
it.
right.
They're doing no bad.
They're doing no bad.
Have you never done a half-time draw at Motherwell?
Nah.
Did you do it at Parkhead?
I don't know. I think I've done it at Ibrox.
Did you do it at Ibrox?
You?
And they knew you were a Celtic season ticket. Oh, they'll hear
Come
me.
on, you.
No, it's been great to have you on the show, innit? That was good, man. I like that.
Like
You
that.
got it correct as well.
Who
See your eye patch, you want to sign that and I can take that home.
No, that's kept, mate. No, you can't get that. I'll give you a signed 40, but don't worry. Right, David, we've got a part of the show called Who Knows Wins, right? Who Knows Wins, It's the home of social betting and they're changing the culture of gambling. We've been doing it for the last couple of weeks and it's
You
really
know I
quite
listen
good.
every week, by the way.
I know that you do. Do you actually?
I feel like you're insulting me.
Well, have you listened to the Who Knows Wins bit? It's very popular with the punters. My brother gets involved. People in my group chats and WhatsApp get involved. Basically, bookies have been taken out of the equation. You're betting against your mates. That's basically the idea. You download the app on the App Store or Google Play. It's at www.whoknowswins.com. You set up a league, and that's what we're doing this weekend.
Right.
You put down an entry fee. Say it's a £5. You choose the matches that you want to get involved in. You involve all your mates and then you predict the outcome of the games. The person with the most correct predictions wins a pot of money. And it's getting bigger every week, David. Every week there's a bigger pot of money. And the closest guy with the closest correct predictions wins the money. So it is exciting and there's no bookies involved. So you can also join preset public leagues with larger pots of money. So you don't need to compete with your pals. If you find somebody down south has maybe got a league set up, you can join that as well and you can compete against them. So it's all over the UK. So get involved, as I say, on Apple or Google Play. Type in Who Knows Wins. This week we've picked the 6 games across the Scottish League for your chance to win, and entry fees are £5. So David boy, it's just a £5. Fling your £5 in, and the games are Livingston Hearts, St Johnstone Hampton, Dundee United Dunfermline, Morton and Inverness Cali in the Championship.
Get on, Morton.
Go on yourself, Morton. Rafe Rovers versus East Fife in League One. And we've got, from the Scottish Cup, Pennycook versus Steny. Pennycook. So that is going to be involved in this week's whoknowswins.com competition. Honestly, if you've no heard it, get on it. It's only a £5 if you want to play it. And at the end of the weekend, there's your drinking money sorted. Although we can't be promoting gambling or... No, we're promoting gambling, I suppose, but we can't promote drinking and gambling. Would that be probably unethical? Who knows? Either way, get
What
your
about
ass on.
drinking, gambling and masturbating?
Masturbating is fine, just not in planes.
Good Lord, look who's here. It's our footballing guest of the day. A player who is widely respected, much loved by teams right across the country. He's played for Aberdeen, League Cup winner, Dundee United about 45 times.
Yep.
And of course Celtic. It is the one and only Willo Flood. Willo, good to see you, pal.
Good to see us.
Listen, tell me this.
What?
This guy's a hard player.
I know.
Are you surprised that he's not taller?
Everyone says that.
You're very miniature.
Yeah, I know.
But do you know what? You look like a Willow.
Yeah.
There's not many people called Willow. Is Willow short for something?
William.
Is that
Yeah.
Didn't see that coming.
no, but so what happened to Wally or Billy or
Liam?
I think
Is it the
just
Irish?
because my dad's name was William and they called him Willie.
Right.
So they just called me Willow. But
Willow?
Were you named after Willow the Wisp?
no, everyone says that as well.
That's disappointing. That is disappointing.
Do you know any other Willows?
Mark Wilson, they call him Willow,
Yes,
but he's not a real
right.
Willow.
Yeah, of course,
Right.
of course.
When I found out, we're interviewing Willow, the first thing that came to my mind was, I want to know about the time Man City, right,
Yeah.
are struggling in a game. Stuart Pearce is the manager. They've got a £5 million striker on the bench, and they fling an outfield tap to David James, and he comes on as a sub. Were you part of Man City that time?
Yeah. I was actually 19th man, so I just sat on the bench that day. And I remember there was a kit man at the time, Les Chapman. He had David James an outfield jersey, and I said to him, "What the fuck are you doing with that?" And he goes, "Oh, the gaffer told me I need to bring it onto the bench." He said, "What?" So it was us at Middlesbrough to qualify for Europe at the time. And it was like 15 minutes to go, and he says to big Nicky Weaver, "Get one, big man." And he goes, "Oh, is J-Mo struggling?" He's like, No. So then fucking 5 minutes later, he brings Nicky on and gave the big man his jersey for going up top. He was like a fish out of water.
Aye.
And to be fair,
Had he
John
done it
Ma-
before in training?
No.
I mean, like Matt Elliott at Leicester, Martin O'Neill played him at centre back, but in an emergency, we'd throw him up front.
Yeah. No, we never.
Maybe Big Marvin Andrews as well. They used to do that as well. Big Eck used to do
Kevin
that.
McKenna at Hearts would do that as well. You know,
And as
John
soon as he
McClellan at
brought him
Rangers.
on, Big John Macklin was sitting beside me and goes, "Fuck me, that's me out here."
I'm not surprised.
But to be fair,
I thought you were going to say put you in goal.
and now to be fair, that's all Percy was short of doing at the time. He was trying everything.
How was he as a manager?
He was actually quite quiet, you know.
Really?
No.
Yeah, like I expected him.
Did he not play it? I heard stories that Forrest used to put all that dreadful punk music. He used to
He's
play in the
mad
bus.
into all that punk music, yeah, the rock and
Did
stuff.
he do that when he was a manager as well?
No, he just used to let the lads deal with the music and stuff.
Right,
but
okay.
as a manager, he was quite thoughtful, but he wasn't really one that would go out and start battering lads. Like, he surprised me that he never done that at the time.
Would you fancy a square goal with him?
No, that's for sure. Do you know what? He was good to the kids at the time and stuff. He obviously patched me off for City, so fuck him.
Yeah, we're with Willow on that one.
100%, mate.
Listen, tell us about the big names at Man City when you were coming through there, because I mean the managers alone were all really famous names. So what are your memories?
When I
of those
first
guys?
went over, it was Joe Royle at the time, and I think we got promoted to the Premier League, and then his first signing was like George Weah or something like that. I remember George Weah had his own boots at the time. They were just called Weah, black boots. All the lads thought they were the bollocks, obviously, at the time. And then that,
President Weah,
to
of
be
course,
fair,
of
there was a
Liberia.
drinking culture a bit at the club at that time, and I always remember that kind of came over then as soon as Kevin Keegan came in, and he got rid of everyone that was in the drinking culture and brought in proper quality players. And like his first or second signing was like a Nelka or something like that. Ali Benarbia we had.
How does a manager like Keegan put a stop to drinking culture? Does he just come in one day and go, right, troops?
They just seem to do it over time, you know. They just
Aye.
the players
The
they
looks,
actually
he's
the
a game.
players that they like, they'll try say to them, listen, because Richard Dunn at the time like never was kind of in and out with Keegan's, and he used to play with us in the reserves, and Dunny was the best player at the club, I thought, at the time. But then he got rid of people that probably were bad for Dunny at the time, and then Dunny got like 5 or 6 Player of the Years in a row at Man City.
Wow. Because Fergie did that at Manchester United when he arrived. He looked at the boozers and said, right, I can get rid of them, but the biggest boozer of the lot I need. And that was Brian Robson.
Yeah.
So that's how the good managers do it.
Yeah.
And then they surround them with angels like yourself.
Yeah.
You know?
But they say, I remember reading the stories about Brian Clough, how every Friday night before the games on a Saturday, he would get all the boys round. And
he was the drinker.
Well, I think this was before he was a drinker. He would go, right, boys, 16 half pints at the hotel the night before the game. There's you go, have your whack, settle you for the next day's game. Does that ever appear at all now in football?
No. Like
nowhere.
I know the lads are, there's a few lads that are now at Bolton Albion, and I think they trained on Christmas Day, and they had to have a shot of whiskey before they went out to training for Christmas Day, I think it was, and they had a game Boxing Day. But that's the only time I've ever heard of it.
Bertie Votes did it. He brought out, they all had a pint before the game.
Yeah.
The night before the game. Whereas those of us watching it or covering it required drinking to watch the games. Yeah, that's the last time I've heard that.
Like that Adam Rooney used to have a strange, like, when we were at Aberdeen, they used to give him, like, Baileys before it. So the night before the game, I think it was the physio used to bring up a Baileys to him. I was like, what the fuck are you doing? Baileys and Terry's chocolate orange the night before the game. Strange, like.
A dream double.
Yeah.
Didn't Lorenzo Amoruso get hooked on Bailey's Irish Cream when he
Did
was
he,
at
yeah?
Rangers? Yeah.
Did he?
Yeah, he was knocking back tons of the stuff.
What, half time and stuff like that? Or?
During injuries. Now listen, Who's the best player you played with in your career? You mentioned Nicholas
It'll
McDonald,
probably be
who was
him.
no dud.
Yeah, he was probably the best by a mile. Like, if he actually fancied it, he could have been up there with the world's best at the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. You say if he fancied it.
Mm-hmm.
He always looked to me like a guy.
People say...
He didn't bother his arse, but I'm aware of the fact that looks can be deceptive.
Yeah.
You know,
I actually got on really well with him. He was really good to me and another friend of mine, Paddy McCarthy. We were only kids at the time coming through our city, and he always come over, have a bit of banter. He thought we were quite funny. Probably thought we were shit, but he was... he was... He always had a lot of time for the kids, to be fair.
Oh, that's good.
And when in training, he was unbelievable at times, like unbelievable. And I always remember his last day as well. When he wanted to go, he made sure he went, like, because we done it like a 3v3, 4v4 possession game, and then we went into small-sided games, and we went into a 3v3. It was me, my mate, and an Elka on the same team, and he just never really bothered his arse. And Kevin Keegan went absolutely mental, and next day he signed for Fenerbahce, I think it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, really? It was
as quick as that, yeah.
Wow. Now, what was Kevin Keegan like? I've met him, and he's a really charming guy. But there's always that wee thought that he might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Do you know what? He was good to me as a kid. He gave me my debut. He actually pulled me in on a Monday, and he told me he was going to get the club to sort out flights for my mum and dad, and he brought them over on the Monday, and they put them in a hotel, and straight after the game he went to meet me mum and dad. He had a lot of time for people. I thought he was a people's person. For me, he was infectious. He was good on the training pitch. He didn't do much tactic stuff, but it was all like small-sided games, a lot of shooting drills, and he just had plenty of enthusiasm for me on the training pitch, and I always quite liked him, you know.
Was there a manager in your career that you just weren't having?
Yeah.
Girls, don't be fair.
There's a wee grin there.
Don't be fair.
Like, I just thought, like, for me, you should be honest. For players, just be honest with players. And I never thought Tony Mowbray was honest with me.
Really?
When you were at Celtic?
Yeah.
Right.
Because I was going back to Dundee United again for probably the 5th time when I was at Celtic after 6 months. And we'd agreed everything. I was going back, and I came on against Arsenal in the Champions League and done okay. And then he said at the time that I couldn't... He said at the time I could go alone, but then after that game he said I wasn't allowed to go alone. But nothing had really changed, you know what I mean? If a manager fancies you, they fancy you. If they don't, they don't.
So then that's interesting then. So you had that feeling with Mowbray. You go to Middlesbrough at a point in your career, and Strachan's the manager. Then Mowbray ends up the manager.
I know.
How were you feeling then?
Did you had you improved between leaving Celtic under Mowbray and the time when Mowbray arrived at Middlesbrough?
No, I hadn't improved because I went to Middlesbrough and played the first 8 games and was doing quite well at the time, and then I done my knee. Yeah. And then I came back the following pre-season and done my other knee. So I definitely didn't improve because I was out of football for 7, 8 months. So Mowbray came in and he said, listen, I know you started really well at Middlesbrough, but we're going to give you a fair crack at the whip when you come back fit. Liars. But he just brought me on as a striker and stuff, and he just didn't fancy me. Like, it's no problem. Like, I mean, I'd rather a manager come into you and say, listen, I don't fancy you, I think you're shit or whatever. Just be blunt and be honest with players. I
remember when Mogga was the manager of Celtic, Andy Walker and I met him in the dugout at St Johnstone. I remember it was over yesterday. And Andy said, how you getting on? And they'd played together. And Tony had lived next to me in Edinburgh when he was at Hibs, so I kind of got to know him a wee bit. He was quite a closed-off kind of guy. And he said, I'm not enjoying it at all. I'm not enjoying being manager of Celtic. And Andy laughed, said, hey, seriously? He went, no, I'm not enjoying the job. Did that come across to the players that he didn't like it? I mean, that was very early on. He decided that.
I could tell after probably 2 months or something that he wishes he stayed in England. Like, you know what I mean? I didn't think he enjoyed Scottish football, but that was strange because he had played up here, so he knew.
He's adored by the Celtic fans. He's the guy, he invented the huddle at Celtic.
Is that right? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Great.
No, that would not.
Really nice man.
Yeah, but you could sense it that after being up here for 2 months, he never really. I didn't think he overly respected the Scottish game at the time because we played a cup game and we played those that hadn't been playing. And it was me, Paddy McCourt and a few others, and we beat them 5-0. And he says, these are shit. If these were down in England and they were playing against Plymouth would beat them 10-0, whatever it was. And then they put out his proper team a month or two later and we got beat by Falkirk. You know what I mean?
So he wasn't. You don't feel that he was out his depth at Celtic. You just feel
He
that
definitely wasn't out of his depth because he was good on the game and stuff like that. I just didn't think he overly enjoyed Scottish football. I think he just preferred English football.
From what you heard, did the players put the tools away on Tony?
I just think any manager that gets sacked, like players just lose confidence and stuff like that and they don't really believe in the manager. I don't think they down tools. It's not an intentional thing. It's like any manager that gets sacked. Like, I mean, I don't think players do it intentionally when a manager gets sacked. They just start getting pissed off with the training or they get pissed off with the way he does things and stuff like that. It's what they do and they just feel like you look at the team and they look as if they've lost energy, whereas a new manager comes in a week later, they look like a totally different team altogether.
Was there any players in that Celtic dressing room that kind of was like, they wanted to stand up to Mowbray and say, this isn't working out, come on.
I'm sure
you need to get a grip here, Mowbray. Was there MD that
I'm sure that would have been, like, I was out, because I wasn't playing, I was just like, fucking get me out of here, if I'm being honest. You know what I mean? Yeah, so whereas I'm sure there would have been people like people that had a bit about them, like Gary Caldwell and Barry Robson and Stephen McManus and Scotty McDonald, like, I mean, but he probably would have told Scotty McDonald to shut up, you know what I mean? Scotty loves a moan. But I'm sure he would have spoke, you know what I mean? Because he kept people close to him, a few people close to him.
Tell me about the manager who has been the most important in your career.
There's probably a couple along the way, you know. Obviously Kevin Keegan, because he gives you a chance in football. You'll always, without him, you probably wouldn't be where you are.
Decent.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get someone like Craig Levein, who probably my career, like I left Man City, I went to Cardiff and I was kind of in and out and I wasn't really playing. And then Craig Levein brought me and then I got my career back on track again. And then I just enjoyed, that was the first time in my career that I'd actually played football, like, you know what I mean, at 21, 22. So I say that to kids nowadays, until you actually play first team football, you don't know how good they are, so the quicker they get first team football, the better. So then he was a massive influence. Then playing, obviously, under Strachan, who I had a lot of time for, like on the training pitch, he's the best I've seen.
Really? Would he get right involved?
Yeah, proper enthusiastic, would always try and make the individual better within the session.
Aye.
All he wanted to do was, all he wanted players who cared and wanted to be better. That's all he wanted, and then he could work with them.
Aye. A good man manager.
Yeah.
Aye.
I had a lot of time for him, and then obviously I came back to Dundee United under Peter Houston, who I had a lot of time for, and then obviously I had 3 good years under Dale, like at Aberdeen, and Dale is a top manager for me.
What are Derek McInnes's strengths? Is he
He's a great
coach or a man manager or both?
He lets Doc take most of the stuff, but when it comes to team shape, Dale will take it. And then his man management for me is the best. And one thing he always does is make sure everything's done for his players. He always wants the best for his players. So one thing what he'll always do is when they go on that training, when they go onto that pitch on a Saturday, there's no excuses. You know, he's gave you every little detail that you need. He spoke to who he needs to speak to, and then on a Saturday, it's up to the players to go and do the business.
Were you surprised that he turned down the Rangers job? What are you laughing at?
Always back to the Rangers.
No, but it's interesting to get another view.
Hang on a minute. Is the producer meant to speak?
Exactly. He's fucking getting too big for his boots, this
I
guy.
have to defend you here.
I was.
No, it's like I'm sorry about this.
Yeah, I was.
Because this is interesting to hear, because, you know, people will say, you know, well, obviously you'll read stuff, you know, that, you know, he bottled it, he didn't want to do it. But then if you're sitting there telling me that he was such a good coach, he was a great man manager, he knew what he wanted for his players, then why does somebody like him turn down a job like that, especially a club that he grew up supporting?
Big, yeah. Maybe that was just, see at Aberdeen, like whatever happened in Aberdeen, he, like whatever coming and goings, whether it be players in and out, players, maybe the budget wasn't right, whatever it was.
That's what I think it's. Do you think, David?
It just came, unless it was 100% right for him, he ain't going to make the same mistake that he made at Bristol City. Mm-hmm. So he had a secure job at Aberdeen, so he ain't going to leave a secure job where he's been successful to go into the Goldfish Bowl of the old
last
firm
6 months.
If he doesn't get the backing he deserves.
He's got that relationship with Aberdeen now. He's cemented his place. I feel.
Russell Anderson said to me, he said he's bomb-proof after the league.
Bomb-proof.
What was the League Cup? What was it like winning a trophy with Aberdeen? Because I mean, that was
Like, you didn't realise how big it was, to be fair. You know, because we were second in the league. We were in the semi-final of the Scottish Cup. Realistically, we should have finished second in the league and could have done the double if we had got. The squad was a bit. For me, it was numbers-wise, we had about 14, 15 players that we'd really rely on.
Yeah.
We were short in numbers. But then the cup final, like, it was a strange atmosphere. We'd 45,000.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Celtic Park.
Yeah. Like, for me, it's much better cup finals, whether you play them at Ibrox, Celtic Park, rather than Hampden. For me, the atmosphere at Hampden's nowhere near as good as...
So many players say that, don't they, David?
Do you know what, though?
You love that. You love Hampden, don't you?
I love Hampden.
Do you?
And atmosphere is about people.
Yeah.
You know, you know, yeah, they make a noise, you don't.
But I remember the cup final we had with Dundee United when we got robbed against Rangers. Remember in the League Cup final?
Yeah.
Was that the one? Was that 2-1, Boydie? Was that right?
Yeah, 2-2, yeah, and then you beat us on pens.
Yes, that was a great day.
Yeah, but do you remember what? Like,
Try and be at least a little bit.
the atmosphere that day I thought was decent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But I think that the big thing for Dundee United was obviously Eddie Thompson and stuff like that, you know.
That was that
Yeah.
year, wasn't it? Aye, because it was only a matter of days, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I
like
think
he
died
just
on the
went
Thursday
not
or
long
something.
after that cup
Aye,
final and
I
stuff.
remember meeting him that day, and I almost didn't recognise him because of the
Yeah,
effects that
yeah.
No
the
wonder,
chemo
you know what I mean?
on him. Tell me about the League Cup final, Aberdeen and Inverness.
Shit game, wasn't it?
Aye, I was trying to think of a
think I watched
euphemistic
it.
way of saying that.
I think I watched it.
Do you know who I was sitting next to in the crowd that day?
Tell us.
One of your players now is an agent. You're an agent now, Peter Pollitt.
Right.
If he had played, I think it'd have been a different game.
If him and Johnny Hayes comes off after,
A couple of minutes.
yeah. If
Yeah.
we had them two in our team, like, that's what I'm saying. We were short in numbers, really, that Aberdeen team, and our whole thing back in them was Pete in the 10, Niall off the right, Johnny off the left. We plenty of pace,
Yeah.
you know, we plenty of creativity, and we took two out, like, you know, when it was hard to replace them.
Yeah.
So we just, you know what, we won on the day. We were shit. It was a shit game, but no one cares. Like, no one remembers the game. You know what I mean?
Correct.
See, can I ask you something, right? I know you probably get asked this, and every Old Firm player will get asked it, but the atmosphere in Old Firm, can you explain it? I know it's the most generic question to ask an Old Firm player, but we all like to know. Everybody's got their different takes on it.
Well, this man made his debut in the Old Firm
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
That's right, you made your debut. Did you play for the start?
Yeah, Scott McDonald missed a header from 2 yards out. Do you remember?
Wait, I'm trying to remember.
It was a shit game. It was
What game was it?
It was at Celtic Park.
What was the score?
0-0.
Nil-all.
It was shit. Yeah.
Nil-all.
Did you shit yourself? Be honest.
To be fair, I never knew I was playing. To be fair, so what happened was Barry Robson was supposed to play, and then Robbo was struggling with his groin at the time, and Strachan, the day of the game, I went down for breakfast, and Strachan pulled me and just said, "Listen, Willo, you're gonna play."
Shut
I said,
yourself.
right. You get nervous, like, I
Aye.
mean, but because he's told you in the morning of the game, it would have been an early kick-off, so you don't really have that much time to think about it.
That's what always gets to me as well, David, when you think of Old Firm games, they're played at that time of day. It must be a weird, you know, because obviously it's a Saturday night, the night before, you must struggle to get to sleep because it's a big game, and then you're up at the crack of farts.
Yeah.
You're going
Some
straight-
lads are okay, like some lads fucking don't even care, they'll just go out. I was one of these, whether it was a pre-season game or it was the biggest game, I'd have 2 or 3 shits before a game. It was just some people react different to games, you know.
You
what
say
I mean?
you
It's a
had 2 or
good
3 shits?
Yeah.
That's funny because,
That's
you
a
know...
good stat.
Aye, no, that is good to know because, I mean, like...
You
When I was filming Two Doors Down, right, I needed a good hour before I went on set
Yeah.
to get my shites in. Because I need a good 45 to an hour to get everything ready for the day. You the same?
Yeah.
Aye.
But I think that was just nerves for me. It wasn't nerves for you, was it?
No, mine's just
Yeah.
probably the macaroni pies for the night before, but aye.
Oh, Jesus. I didn't get this with Neil McCann, Willow.
Yeah.
Well, but Neil McCann was a good after I think I told this last time, but Neil McCann sat with you in his first week, right, on a telly, and Neil McCann was fucking hopeless co-presenter. See the next week, he was fucking brilliant. He was
Yeah.
Jamie Redknapp. He was.
Yeah.
What did you do to him?
Nothing at all. Nothing at all.
You never give him any advice or nothing?
I think he ate all the biscuits. I think that's...
Well, that can help.
And never put on any weight.
Never put any weight.
I
A bit like wee Willo.
Oh,
Willo,
can't stand
would
that.
you ever like to get into presenting and doing a wee bit of the media?
They wouldn't understand me. I couldn't do it. It's
Listen,
never.
Have you never... You've not got into management, you've gone down the agency
Yeah,
route.
like I've-
Why is that?
Probably just because when I went over to Bali and the thing went tits up over there, I just came back and... Because I was coaching at Dundee United for about 2 years while I was playing there. I was coaching in the academy for about 2 years and I enjoyed it. And then just you come back and you think, right, what do I need? I need to do something. You need to get out of the house, you know. So I was either they were wait for a coaching job to come up in the academy again, or they were go into the agency game. And I was always quite close with my old agent and stuff like that. So I've decided to go down the agency route and try help young lads, like, you know, try nurture them. And
Who have you got in your stable?
I've got a few, to be fair. I've got a few, Graham Shinney, obviously, at Derby. And
But see, Willo, let me ask you this. This is an interesting thing, I would suggest. What does an agent do Monday to Friday? You say you want to get out of the house. What you doing?
You
You
go-
taking your laptop down to Costa?
No,
and
no.
sending
They
emails?
count their money, Grado.
Aye, that and all.
I don't have any of that.
But what do you
Basically,
do as an agent?
you're on the phone all the time, constantly. You're speaking to people. You're going to games all the time. It depends what type of agent you are. Like, I'm only starting out, so yesterday I was at Croatia, Iceland, and then I went to Scotland after that, and then in between that I went to the reserve game between Hearts and Hibs.
And what's that? Are you doing? You're looking after your players?
I'm just sometimes you're just watching games to see if you can pick up a player, or, you know, someone that you think has got a chance.
And what about what do you get any complaints for football players? Like, right, you know, I need to phone my agent. What's a kind of typical phone call for a player saying, I'm not happy with this? Is it something to do
Yeah,
with...
yeah. If a boy is not playing, he won't be happy.
Right.
You know what I mean? So then he'll ask you, what do you think? Do you think I should go and see the manager? And I'm like, well, listen, it's a bit early for that. If you've been out of the team for if you've been coming back from injury, you'll be pissed off. Sometimes you need to just tell them, listen, sometimes you need to go in and just speak to the manager yourself.
Aye. So what do you make of agents in the game that have no football background? And they come in and...
I find that strange, if I'm being honest. They'll obviously help with the negotiation part, but really the player is doing the business, so the negotiation part is probably the easy bit, if I'm being honest. The hard bit is actually getting them there, especially with young lads. You want to get them to the right pathway that they can go and be like millionaires, you know what I mean? You want them to go and get to that where they go and play games. Like people like John McGinn and Kenny McLean have done the groundwork at a young age, and there wouldn't have been much money in them kids at that stage, but because they played and they learned their trade in Scotland, then they go to England and they earn the serious money.
So as an agent, are you out there trying to find the next John McGinn? So you think...
Yeah, you're obviously...
You want to find a player where you go, right, fuck's it, man.
Yeah.
Maybe get a good turn here. Get
Yeah,
some
you
move down
want someone
south.
that you think that...
You can buy another house.
Yeah, you want someone that you see a 15, 16-year-old, you think, you know what, he's got a chance long term, he's got good ability, he's got the right attitude, he's at a right club where he's going to get a chance. But then sometimes you want them to stay at a certain club, and sometimes the kid and the parent might want them to go to England at a young age.
We need to talk about... I think you could still be playing.
I know.
That's what
Looking
I
at you.
People say
Could
that.
you?
I probably could still play, but you know what, I just think...
So why did you chuck it?
I chucked it basically because when the Bali thing went tits up, I came back and I had probably lost me fucking hunger, if I'm being honest, because see, when I went back to Dundee United from Aberdeen, it wasn't the same club that I was used to when I was there before.
Yeah.
And I think the whole pressure of trying to get us back up, and it just fucking drained me, if I'm being honest. And under Shaba Laszlo, like, I didn't enjoy it at all. Like, I
Is he a
mean,
nice guy?
nice fella, but just fucking
Clueless?
just drained me. I'm being
Really?
honest, like, just drained
Was
me.
his bonkers as
Well, some of
has
his
been
meetings were mental,
alleged?
like, yeah.
His meals?
His meetings. He'd have a meeting every day before
Alright, if it's
training.
his fucking meals, I'm going with his meeting with his mateys.
His meetings were fucking mental, like, I mean, absolute mental, like, he would
Or did he just go on and on?
just went on, like, so the meeting we'd have a meeting before training, it could be 10, 15 minutes, or it could be 60 minutes, 70 minutes, you just fucking didn't know,
Almost as long as the game itself.
yeah.
So would
And
you,
at what point do footballers tune out of meetings?
Oh, I can see lads, like, we had a talented boy in the team, a boy called Scott Fraser at the time. So then Scott Fraser, if he doesn't, you give him 10 seconds and that's it, he switches off, and I'd be looking over at him and he'd be like, I'm like, fucking hell, like, they just switch off. Like, I mean, sometimes people can talk too much. Like, I remember when I was at City as a kid, we had a decent academy. We had about 20 odd boys played in the first team, and I never remember getting overcoached. Whereas I go and watch some of the coaches nowadays, I'm thinking, fuck me, will you just let the session go? Like, it's not about you.
Aye. So tell us what happened with that whole situation with Bally and Dunfermline.
Basically, I was in at Dunfermline, I trained a couple of days, and I got a Dutch agent rang me and said, we've got an offer in Bali. Well, it was good money and it was good lifestyle, and it was just something that I fancied, if I'm being honest. And then I was embarrassed, obviously, going into Alan Johnson, the Dunfermline manager, who was actually really good to me. I actually enjoyed his training for the first fucking
3 years.
Yeah, because I was with Shabba and I didn't enjoy Shabba's training, so I went back and thought, fucking hell, this is decent. And then I got the offer from Bali, and it was just too good an opportunity to turn down at my age. It was just something totally different and
Out the blue as well.
a good lifestyle, and you know what I mean. So I just basically went into him and said, listen, Gaffer, we had a clause in my contract that if something foreign came up that I could go, and something came up, so I just went into him and said, listen, it's an opportunity for me, I can't turn it down at my age. And he's like, fucking hell, well, you're killing me, like, I mean, because I had agreed a deal early, and I felt like a bit of a dick, if I'm being honest, but
business,
it was just something that I fancied, you know what I mean. And then I went over there, I was over there 3 days, crashed a scooter twice, nearly killed myself. Done my medical.
As you do.
Yeah, done my medical, passed that, was fine. Trained with the team twice. And then the agent that brought me over there just says, oh, I've got some bad news. And I said, because the missus and the little fella had come over for 3 weeks. They just arrived, and I said, what's up? And he just says, oh, the contract's void. And I said, what the fuck? And he goes, basically that you had to come from the Scottish Premiership to sign for Bali.
That's insane. So then you're then left without a club?
Yeah.
How did you feel when you heard that news at first? What was your gut reaction?
Aye.
I think you're fucking hell. Like, it's like, obviously you're thinking cunts are taking the piss back and home in Scotland when they know, you know what I mean? I didn't really give a...
Did you feel sick?
I just thought, you know, to be fair, I thought, you know what, the Dunfermline fans would be thinking, that fucking shows you cunt, because...
That's what you get.
Yeah.
Those are the exact words that they would have said.
That's exactly, yeah.
Not to your face, but...
Looking back on it, what was it that Bally offered you that Dunfermline didn't?
Just a... Just totally, like...
Son!
Lifestyle and culture, and it was totally, like, you're trying at, like, 8 o'clock in the morning, and...
What was the scoff like?
Food was nice, place was nice, beaches were nice, everything was nice, you know.
Did you feel? I mean, you've been caught. They've pulled your pants down on that one.
Yeah.
To use a football expression. How did you feel then when you left it for the last time, heading? You know, how long's the journey to Bali?
It takes about 12 hours or something, 14
Did
hours.
you fly first class?
No, they flew me first class over and fucking...
On him in the back, middle seat.
Yeah.
You with the chickens.
Yeah.
Oh really? So was that as low as you felt?
Well, I didn't really feel low, like, you know, I'm sure there's fucking people, and like, my thing was everything happens for a reason. It wasn't meant to be, you know, so...
Oh gosh.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't as if you're fucking scraping for your last dollar, so it didn't... There's people in worse off situations than me, you know, and I always thought to myself, you know what, you've given football a good crack, but like, you've been at it since you were 15-year-old, so what will be, like.
Aye.
And I played for fucking a club that I supported at Celtic. I played in the Premier League, I played in the Scottish Premier League, so I'd achieved more than I ever thought I would.
I thought you should have played for Ireland.
Yeah, so do I.
I thought you did. I
thought I should have got at least a cap. Like, obviously, when I was doing well at Man City at the time, and I was doing well at Dundee United at the time, before I got the move to Celtic, then there was talk of it, and it just never happened, you know.
Who was to blame?
Brian Kerr was the manager at the time, so he was to blame. He fucking gave some shy players caps, but he never gave me a cap.
What was it like to play for your boyhood heroes?
Do you know what? It was an unbelievable achievement, because I thought, you know what, I've got there, but then I never really felt I got there because I never played as much. So then I actually realised, I actually probably wish I never went there, if you know what I mean,
really?
Because I never played.
Aye.
Football, I ain't happy. To be fair, some footballers are happy, but I was never happy until I played games. So you never really felt part of it until you played games, and even though I was there and I played a little bit, I never really felt part of it.
Aye. What was that Celtic dressing room like at the time? Now you've got big characters like the holy goalie Arthur Boric.
Yeah, there was plenty of talent. There was McGeady, Scott McDonald, Sean Maloney, Nakamura. Like, there was plenty of boys.
Plenty of winners in that squad, wasn't there?
Obviously, we didn't win the league that year, but I think that was the last time Rangers won the league, was it?
2011.
2011.
It was 2011, all right, calm down.
Yeah, like, obviously, there was some big characters, big players, but I just never really felt part of it because I never played as much. And I wish I'd probably if I could turn back time, I probably should have just stayed at Dundee United.
Really?
Because the money.
The pressure's really high at Celtic. Did that sometimes reflect?
The pressure didn't bother me because I never.
Ups in the dressing room or in the training ground.
Yeah, we had a few little like obviously McGeady and Arthur had a bit of a fallout and stuff like that, but there wasn't.
Were they rolling about the flare?
No. They were rolling about in the shower, yeah, but.
Were they really?
Trying to fight each other.
Were they buzzing and all that?
Yeah. But.
Have you ever
that happens
before?
No, that happens at every club.
Aye, fucking swinging punches with your
like
tooth
an argument. There's an argument.
I can imagine it.
Not with the balls hanging out, like, you know.
It's a bit rich coming from a wrestler who earns his money in trunks. Listen, going to Aberdeen, it's a big game this weekend, of course. Two of your ex-clubs going head to head. Did Johnny Hayes give Aberdeen the X-Factor when you were there?
Yeah, like, we had a few at the time. Like, Pete Pollard was on fire that year. Like, Pete got Player of the Year that year, and then we had Niall who was flying. Do you know what we did? And Adam, to be fair, Adam was one of them that if he got the ball in the box, he scored.
Aye.
Don't ask him to start controlling the back to goal and start linking the game, but if you get the ball in the box, he guarantees you goals. And Johnny was a big part of our team. But we'd Ryan Jack in the team. You know, we'd some good players.
Great player.
Yeah,
he's
much better now. He's much better now because he's at Rangers.
There you go, Grado.
There you go. I interviewed Ronnie Dyler recently on BT Sport.
You did not, did you?
I did.
Where is he?
He's in Norway.
Did you fly to Norway to go and see him?
Yeah.
What fun?
Yeah.
I'm nice to do an interview. And Ronnie said that he thought he'd blown the league that year. Should you at Aberdeen have won the league that year?
I think we would have. I'm not sure we would have won it, but we would have put them. We would have brought them close if we had probably brought a few more players in January. I think if the thing with that people don't realise, like, Derry McInnes has a budget that you cannot compete with the old firm. So like, the highest paid at Aberdeen is probably 3-4 grand a week. Highest paid at Rangers, Celtic 25-30. How do you compete with that?
No.
There's a reality check that people need to realise. There's only so far you can take clubs, and you can win cups, but to take them and go and win the league is Leicester done it.
But if Adam Rooney had stayed fit, would you have won the league? Because he missed the run-in.
Yeah, I don't know, if I'm being honest. Being honest, we were probably a little bit short at the time with squad and depth. But if we had got back in January, we might have, because I don't think the Celtic team were nowhere near what they should have been. Like, you know what I mean? They obviously weren't playing for Ronnie Doyle, and we beat them twice in a week. You know, we beat them in the Scottish Cup, and then we beat them in the league. That was under Lenny the year before. So we could beat them in a one-off game, but whether we could beat them over the season, I'm not so sure.
Well, Willo, it has been such a pleasure to have you in the studio. It's been a fascinating interview. Good to get an insight for a football agent, somebody that's played down south, up here. I'd like to thank you to come on. Just one more question: who's the hardest cunt you've played with? Who's the player that you wouldn't want to roll about in a scud in the showers with?
Probably Richard Dunn. He'd fucking the honey monster would kill me, I think. Yeah.
Really?
He was quiet, but fuck me, I wouldn't fancy tackling him, like.
Quiet assassin.
Yeah.
Aye.
Oh, they're the worst.
There you go. It's a bit like you, David. I can imagine you being a bit like that.
Yeah, I'm sort of, yeah.
No, I can imagine it. I can imagine somebody in a night out
talk the shit out of you.
No, I can imagine somebody coming up to you acting wide, slagging you about something, and you fucking sticking it on them.
I'd have to stand on a chair first, Willo.
Yeah.
Willo, it's been great seeing you. Always good company, and I'm glad to hear the agency business is going well. Best of luck with that. I wonder if you can get his Graham Shinney on the phone just now.
I guess Shinney on the phone. Go get him on. I want to ask if he's coming in. Let's get him on. Come on.
He's got a big game tonight. We can't.
Sure.
Tap him up.
Well, get him a good deal. Get him a good deal back to Ibrox, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you.
I think that might have been illegal tapping.
Right, it's now time for our Beer 52 match of the week. Congratulations to Dundee United supporter. He'll be a fan of Willo Flood, no doubt. Kenny Thompson, who correctly guessed the 1-1 result in the Hearts and Rangers match to win a case of beer. So this week, our Beer 52 match of the week is...
Aberdeen v Celtic. So all you have to do to win is guess the correct score before midday on Sunday. Everyone who gets the score right will go into the draw to win the beer. And you can enter by commenting on the link on the Football Daft Facebook page or tweet your score to @FootballDaft with the hashtag free beer.
Winners must be 18 or over and stay in the UK. Aberdeen and Celtic, my prediction this week, I think Celtic will probably come out winners on this game, so I'm going to say that Celtic win. I'm going to go for 3-1.
You can't have that.
Why is that?
Because that's my prediction too.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Well, we've both got 3-1. What's nothing wrong with that?
Right, I'll say 4-0 Celtic then.
4-0 Celtic, 3-1.
So remember, all you've got to do is go to beer52.com/daft and we can sort out 8 beers if you cover just £4.95 for the postage. And as an added bonus for Football Daft punters, you can get 2 extra free beers. And that, Grado, is a total of how many?
Oh, that's 10 free beers in total. And your first box will be sent to you next day and will contain beer for all over Europe. And I must add, I'm sipping through my beers for all over Europe every night I get in the house. Watch a wee bit of the wrestling, watch the highlights, and I tell you what, there is some phenomenal beers, and amongst that Beer 52 package that you get.
It's a monthly subscription service for the beer, and Beer 52 don't hold you to ransom, so you can leave anytime. So just go to beer52.com/daft to get your first free case of 10 beers.
And that is that. And David, how have you felt? This is the end of your first show with Football Daft. It might not be your last. How do you feel it went?
I quite like the guest hosting thing.
It's different for you,
enjoyed
innit?
it. Yeah, absolutely enjoyed it. Have you enjoyed having me?
I must admit, it was a bit nerve-wracking because, you know, you've got you've been all over Scottish media, right? You were the guy for years and years and years. Now you've resorted to sitting in a studio that says bacon with washed-up professional wrestler.
Manky strips.
As David, you've been football.
You've been daft.
It's yourself! Remember that?
No.